Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Melia Putri. I'm from the Group C, and I will discuss material about testing, assessment, teaching, measurement, and evaluation in education with my college, Shinta, Sofi, Mariska, Nella Khafiza, and Mayke, Melya, Sari. Right guys, let's watch the video show. 1. Testing, assessment, and teaching. As the teacher, we must know about the relevance between test, assessment, and teaching. Therefore, I will explain about test, assessment, and teaching. Right, the first, test. A test is an instrument or systematic procedure for observing and describing one or more characteristics of a student using either a numerical scale or a classification scheme. Nicto, 1996, p. 6. In other definition, a test, in simple terms, is a method of measuring a person's ability, knowledge, or performance in a given domain. Brown, 2004, p. 3. Meanwhile, assessment is an ongoing process that encompasses a wider domain. Brown, 2004, p. 4. Whenever a student responds to a question, offers a comment, or tries out a new word or structure, the teacher subconsciously makes an assessment. In other definition, assessment is a systematic approach for collecting information on student learning or performance, usually based on various sources of evidence. In order to make it clear, this figure explains about the relation of test, assessment, and teaching. Brown, 2004, p. 5. From the figure 1, it can be said that test is part of assessment and assessment is a part of teaching. 2. Test, measurement, and evaluation. Sometimes it is hard to distinguish among test, measurement, and evaluation. Test is an instrument or systematic procedure for measuring a sample of behavior to answer the question, how well does the individual perform, either in comparison with a domain of performance text. Measurement is the process of obtaining a numerical description of the degree to which an individual possesses a particular characteristic. To answer the question how much. Evaluation is the systemic process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information to determine the extent to which pupils are achieving instructional objectives. To answer the question how good. In order to see the relation of test, measurement, and evaluation, it can be seen at the figure below that is adapted from Berikut 1990. Alderson 1995, column 11 until 12. identify some purpose of the test, placement, progress, achievement, proficiency, and diagnostic.
In this video, I want to tell about the categories and type of assessment. The categories and type of assessment is informal and formal assessment. Informal can take a number of forms, starting with incidental, unplanned comments, and responses. Penilaian informal dapat mengambil beberapa bentuk, dimulai dengan komentar dan tanggapan yang tidak direncanakan, bersama dengan pembinaan dan umpan balik diadakannya lain kepada siswa. Banyak penilaian informal guru yang tertanam dalam tugas kelas yang dirancang untuk memperoleh kinerja tanpa mencatat hasil dan membuat penilaian tetap tentang kompetensi siswa. Formal assessment are exercise or procedures specifically designed to tap into a storehouse of skills and knowledge. Formative and summative assessment. Formative is to monitor students' learning to provide ongoing feedback that can be used by instructor to improve their teaching. Contoh penilaian formatif termasuk meminta siswa untuk menggambar peta konsep di kelas untuk mewakili pemahaman mereka tentang suatu topik, menyampaikan satu atau dua kalimat yang mengidentifikasi poin utama dari sebuah kuliah, menyerahkan proposal penelitian untuk umpan balik. Untuk penilaian sumatif adalah untuk mengevaluasi pembelajaran siswa pada akhir unit pembelajaran dengan membandingkan dengan beberapa penilaian. Summative assessment is to evaluate student learning at the end of the instructional unit by comparing it against some standard or benchmark.
Criterion reference test, or also known as benchmark reference assessment. Generally, criterion reference tests show what a person knows or can do. The term criterion itself is interpreted in various ways. Some interpret it as a pass limit or cut score, or the lowest score that can be recited. There is another that defines criterion as a special skill or knowledge that is measured and used interchangeably with the term domain. The domain or criterion can be considered the potential from which the actual potential items are selected. In this context, the criterion reference test is a test that provides an estimate of the domain. That is, the criterion reference test estimates the proportion of domains that test follower knows or does. There are two meanings in the use of the word criterion in the expression criterion reference test items. Namely, 1. Show the relationship between behavior or performance goals and the test question it makes. 2. Show specification of performance requirements that are required to be declared as mastery or mastering. Or in other words, to what extent are students expected to be able to master or be able to correctly answer the test, or to what extent do students have to perform certain skills in order to be declared to achieve their goals. Definition of reference to norm. Norm reference tests generally show where a person ranks in the group of people who take the test. In short, it can be formulated that the norm reference assessment is an assessment carried out by referring to the group norm. The value obtained by students are compared with the value of other students included in that group. What is meant by norm in this case is the capacity or assignment of the group, while what is meant by group, which is meant to mean a number of students in the class, school, district, and province or region. There are several opinions about the meaning of norm reference assessment, namely 1. Norm reference is an optional element which provides a list of normative documents referred to in the standard, so that the reference is inseparable in the application of the standard. Number 2. Processing and conversion of raw scores into scores is carried out by referring to norms of groups. 3. PAN is the value of a group of students in a learning process based on the level.
Correct issues in classroom assessment. Permasalahan yang terjadi dalam penilaian kelas. A. Traditional and alternative assessment. Traditional assessment, summative, non-interactive performance, and foster extrinsic motivation. Alternative assessment, formative, interactive performance, and foster intrinsic motivation. B. Computer-based testing, computer adaptive testing or CAT. For example of computer-based tests, number 1, educational testing service. Number 2, test of English as a foreign language. Number 3, test of English for international communication. Number 4, international English language testing system. Number 5, DEF is ESLQV. C. New view on intelligence. Pandangan baru dalam kecerdasan. They are spatial or visual intelligence. Kecerdasan visual atau spasial. Musical or rhythmic intelligence. Kecerdasan musik atau ritmik. Interpersonal intelligence, kecerdasan interpersonal. Intrapersonal intelligence, kecerdasan intrapersonal. Verbal or linguistic intelligence, kecerdasan bahasa atau verbal. Logical or thematic intelligence, kecerdasan logika atau matematik. Bodily or kinesthetic intelligence atau kecerdasan tubuh. And the last, naturalistic intelligence atau kecerdasan alami. Thank you.